Red coats, we rule!
And my white team, you're my last team back, so I cannot give you any bonus points. However, you do receive my undying respect and gratitude. Now, in the first half of the program, there were two people that stood out to me. One boy and one girl who were sitting up straight, paying attention, listening carefully, clapping for other people. I would like both of these people to come forward and grab a lollipop. I wonder if they're going to find gold. We shall see. Mr. Derek and Miss Jenny, would both of you go for the gold?
Eureka!
Yeah!
Eureka!
Yeah! 50 points go to the team of... And 50 points for the team of...
Blue Rebels! And you know it!
So, we found gold number 1, 2, and 3. I wonder who's going to find the fourth one. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we left, we'd signed the Declaration of Independence. Now, many people are under the impression that the original Declaration of Independence looked like this. No, it did not. The original Declaration of Independence wasn't even one single piece of paper. The original Declaration of Independence was 4 separate pieces of paper. Mr. Jefferson stood in his rented room and he wrote out his ideas of what he thought it should say. He read it to the other 4 members of the Committee of 5. John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston. Those 4 men made a couple of changes to it. So, Mr. Jefferson would scratch off a word and replace it maybe with a better word. On July 2nd, 1776, the 4 pieces of paper were brought to Congress, and they were read to the entire Congress. On July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, the Congress made a bunch of changes to it. They eliminated a whole bunch of words, and they added a bunch others. I have, this past summer, the opportunity to get a photocopy of one of the original 4 pieces of paper. This is written in Thomas Jefferson's handwriting, and you can see where they scratched out words and replaced them. This is a copy of one of the original 4 pages of the Declaration of Independence. You can see Thomas Jefferson's handwriting. Yeah. So boys and girls, on July 4th, 1776, Congress approved the Declaration. With all the changes to it, they said, all right, this is what we wanted to say. On that day, it was given to a printer, a man named Mr. Dunlop. Mr. Dunlop is the man who reprinted it in what we call a broadsheet, a single piece of paper. He rewrote it in his handwriting. 2 copies of the Declaration were printed on parchment. One of those copies was given to Congress. That's the one they signed. But 200 copies of the document were made on regular paper. What happened to those papers? Most of them were sent out to the newspapers. When a newspaper received a copy of the Declaration of Independence, they immediately reprinted it. Most of them did it right on the front page. These are copies of actual newspapers that show the Declaration of Independence right on the front. But we also had 2 copies of the Declaration sent to England. One to the King's office. Another one to the newspaper in London, the Chronicle. That newspaper reprinted the Declaration. So even the people living in England could read our Declaration of Independence. Now, do you think King George is going to like what he reads?
No.
The king will be very upset. He'll be so angry that for the next 5 years, he will send thousands of soldiers to America. The estimate is that approximately 50,000 British soldiers will come to America. But on top of that, 20,000 German soldiers called Hessians. Can you say that name?
Hessians.
Will help the British. So that's a total of 70,000 British forces. We have an army, don't we, rebels?
Yes.
But at the most we're ever going to have is 23,000 men. So that means for every one American, there are 3 enemy forces. We're outnumbered, aren't we?
Yes.
Besides being outnumbered, we are out-trained. You see, the British regulars and the German Hessians are professional soldiers. They know how to fight in a war. We are a bunch of farmers, merchants, fishermen, shopkeepers. We don't know how to fight in a war. And because of it, we're not going to be very good in the beginning. In fact, in the year of 1776, that year, 8 major battles will be fought. And of those 8 battles, America will win 1 battle. That's not very good, is it? Well, luckily for us, we did win 1 battle. I would like to reenact that battle right now. It's called the Battle of Trenton and Valley Forge. So my blue team, come on up.
Presents.
All right, Americans have guns? Good. Ladies and gentlemen, the first battle of the Revolution that we actually won, a battle called Trenton.
When most of the American and British troops stopped fighting for the winter, General Washington took advantage of the break to do a surprise attack. On Christmas night, 1776, Washington and American soldiers rode across the Delaware River.
We go to face German Hessians. Be good men. Onward for freedom! For freedom!
Once they were across, they marched onto Trenton and attacked the German Hessians.
Wake up! You're surrounded! You took the flag. You took the flag. Good job.
The American army captured over 900 enemy soldiers. The Battle of Trenton was one of the first major American victories. Cut!
Quick, set up for the next battle. Gather around the fire. You are now freezing to death at Valley Forge. Action.
The next winter, General Washington and his troops waited at Forge Valley for winter to end. The American soldiers did not have enough food or shoes for the cold. Many of the soldiers had to wrap their feet with rags because of the freezing weather. General Washington had to do many things to keep his troops inspired to fight.
These are the times that tribe and slows.
Valley Forge was not a battle, but it was a very important part of the Revolution. Because of the courage and leadership of General Washington, the troops made it through this difficult winter.
Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
Give them a round of applause, everyone! Nicely done, blue team.